Long now has mankind looked up to the skies and wondered if we are alone in this universe. Many miraculous things have been spotted all over the world, reported by our militaries, and sparked great debates amongst ourselves. I am here to tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, people of Earth, brothers and sisters of all races, all countries, that we are not alone. We have never been alone. That some higher power has sought to spread the gift of life throughout the universe and beyond all comprehension. It is in these times we must learn to love one another. We must not share hate, but joy. We must not inhibit, but we must grow. These beings are our friends. They are our family. They want to help us become better, to see the true potential of mankind. And for maybe one day, we will join them in their voyage to help other beings from other star systems. As shocking as this news may be, it is nothing new. Our governments of the world have known for quite some time that we are not alone in this universe, and we have had contact for many of years, slowly preparing the American public and the publics of the world for such a revelation. We are not alone, and we are about to embark on the greatest journey mankind has ever experienced. Ladies and gentlemen, we have contact.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Contact. We're here on Sunday night again. We are joined tonight by my co-host, Dakota. There he is here, you know. We're joined by a special guest tonight. It was meant to be on last Sunday, but his CPU went wonky, didn't it, Lewis?
Yes, always fun when things start blowing up right as we start to talk about conspiracy theories. So, Lewis, are we going to have the Men in Black show up?
Hope not.
They're coming to take us away. They're coming to take us away.
Will Smith doesn't exactly look like he's doing so hot. He may need some.
I don't think it'll be Will. I think it'll be the wee dog that can speak. It'll come for us, you know.
Oh.
So Lewis, it's good to see you, and it's welcome to the Bald and Bonkers network. You're streaming out over Amazon in multiple locations. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. How's you doing? How are you doing?
But I'm fine, and my co-host he's probably fine too. I don't know how are you fine, Dakota?
That's questionable on a day-to-day basis, but let's see.
So tonight, guys, we'll let the chat fill up for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to show you some evidence that we have. One that, honestly, I didn't. Honestly, Lewis is the guy here, right? Lewis is the awesomest because he's the one that he's the one that you got the two images. I just thought it was Jan, Lewis.
Yeah.
The two. I mean, I could see it.
Right, let me move my
camera. I know you're like a weird kind of like.
I know. It's because I've just put it.
You know, Dakota's going green, aren't you, Dakota?
With them be for all those fancy electronics. See some music. Oh, you're a fellow musician. All right.
Look! Dakota's got his eye on you, Lewis, because he's into the piano too. You know?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yes, I know how to finger real good.
Remember, this is for adults only. I had to throw that in there, you know, because we're all going out across a wide variety network, you know. But honestly, when I did that video that day, Lewis, I could see something, but I couldn't see nothing on my camera, which I found very strange. So I think Dakota's got a few questions for you about the software you use, actually.
Yeah.
Honestly, what kind of software do you use for the enhancements, man?
Well, I think it's what's it called? Let me find it. It was one that I got from a website, a downloadable sharing sort of site. It's a cracked version, but I don't go. Anyway,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Wink,
But it
wink,
doesn't.
nudge, nudge.
It's called Power Director something. Hang on, let me just find it.
Oh,
It's actually it's Power Director. What
I have to
version?
look
Is
into it.
Power? Oh no, sorry. Cyberlink Power Director 17.
All right. No,
Yeah, and it's pretty cool, man, because you can do all sorts of things on there, like in terms of enhancements and that. Yeah.
Well, I was impressed because I knew there was something there. I knew there was one thing there, but there was two, which I found.
There's
there must
actually
have been.
more than that. There's actually more than that.
Is there actually more than that?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, but you can't. It almost looks like clouds, but they're not. It's like there's a massive group of them. You can see it in the background. You think, oh, I've been looking at the footage multiple times, and I thought, oh, is that just one? And then I see another one as well on the left hand side. But then it almost looks like there's more sort of sitting around in places, just like in the same place, not moving location. So if it had been the clouds, you would almost see like everything would be moving together, if that makes sense, because it's all sort of like the same altitude. Whereas everything isn't. It's like only them two spots, but then there's other spots that don't look normal. They just look out of place. It's weird to explain. You can go on.
Yeah, it's just when I seen it, what I couldn't get was the phone. Just when it was a cheap Android phone, maybe the camera was shut. I don't know, but it didn't show it. I just couldn't see it. But when I looked with my eyes, I mean, I could see it. It was huge. It was like it was going for like 1 mil to 1 mil to 1 mil to the wind turbines, and it went for each one. I honestly just don't know, man. When you go,
it's definitely something there. It's definitely something.
Oh yeah,
definitely 100% there. It's definitely a craft.
Yeah,
I showed it to my friend as well. He's like he does like energy. He does like work on chi energy and stuff, and he can he can sense through photos. He can like kind of similar to sort of psychic abilities. It's the same sort of thing, but instead of being able to, they can do remote viewing and stuff like that. And when he sees say he's looking at a picture of the moon, he can sort of hone in on things. It's almost like if he was to look at Google Earth, he could be scrolling over Google Earth and he'd get like, he'd feel energy in one certain spot. He'd zoom in, and there'll be something like really like historic there, or it'd be a certain, do you know what I mean? Something that's hidden. It's hard to explain. That's the best way I can put it. He could sense there was something in that.
Yeah.
What I showed him, he was just like, well, that's definitely a UFO. There's no doubt in his mind.
Yeah. What I found weird, Lewis, is that you know, because I phoned you that day. I was on a live stream with you, and I was talking to you. And what was weird about it is I walked. I'm not going to mention the cell towers, or you know what I'm saying, what they're called, but I was standing right next to it, right? And my head was really, really sore. And I turned round, there was nothing there. And I got closer to the cell tower, and I turned round, and there it was. It was just sitting there. I mean, it was the most weirdest thing that I've never seen on all UFO documentaries. This thing, it was weird. It was like a triangle on its kind of side, and it was just moving. Aye. It was.
I remember speaking to you, but I don't remember that. I remember beforehand. Go on, Dakota.
It was. How can I say this? You ever seen Stargate SG-1?
Yeah.
Right. You see the shuttlecraft that the what do you call them? They use the bad guys use. You kind of the ones I'm talking about. It looked like that. It looked like it had a wee window at the front where the driver would be.
Oh, really?
And it was and I could see it. And then I went, all right, I take my phone out and I started to video it. And then it started moving away and moving away and moving away and moving away. But I did not realise there was more there. That's blowing me away.
No, there's definitely more. There is. You can see him in the video. You can see him.
No, Dakota, do you want to see?
Go
on. I'm just taking notes here because this is finally Chris is actually providing something useful.
There you go. Oh dear God, you know. But disown him. Disown him. Do you want to show the video, Dakota?
Yeah.
On here?
Oh, yeah. You can show it as well. I've got I wanted to
If
find.
Oh no, Lewis, you can
You-
show it
you
and try
show
to point out.
You can show it if you've got a video. I just want to. I'm going to show you as well because you're talking about the ships. I've got some photos I've took with my with the camera of
Yes.
an object on the moon which has been
Nice.
stationary for ages, and it looks like the Enterprise parked up on the surface, and it's been there for God knows how long it's been there. So perhaps they got the idea of the Starship Enterprise from this craft that's sitting on the moon. Because I have to show you this. I've done a video.
I can't wait to see this. I can't wait.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll watch that video in mine, and then do you want to screen share, Lewis, and you can show the footage?
Yeah, I'll have to get it up on my account. Yeah,
take your time.
I'll
So
send it to
let's
you,
play this. You'll hear me doing like a lunatic and shaking.
Chris,
and that.
honestly, man, since I've had my computer, I've upgraded my computer. I'm not trying to show it off or anything, but I've got a good graphics card and whatever. And I was just like, shit, I was looking through my hard drives and I found the video. So basically, because I can edit it now, I've properly gone into all the enhancements and that. And I've looked and I can see that massive UFO in the sky up there. I don't know if you can see that clearly. It's fucking huge, man. It's actually huge. And it moves left and right across the screen. I've put a bit of contrast in that. I've changed the contrast in that. I'm going to do a negative inversion of the image as well. But I wanted you to see this because I need to get this across to you so you can put it on your channel because it's fucking amazing, mate. I never see it before. I didn't notice it before. I was obviously looking at the wrong thing, or my computer screen was shit or whatever. Now I'm just looking and you can see it clear as day. You can see the UFO. I sent it to my friends. I didn't send it. I showed my friend who's he's like he does like telekinesis and all that kind of stuff. He's like proper into energy, like chakras, and he can move things and that. He's really fucking good, yeah. And he can literally get energy from anything. He can look at a photo and he can feel shit through the photos. He can feel, he can taste stuff through photos. He can smell stuff through photos. He's really heightened his senses with all his meditation and that. And as soon as he see this, I didn't even show him it like this, right? And he was like, fuck, that's a fucking UFO. Like, I can feel the energy from it straight away. He's like, please, just like point the camera away. Like, I don't want to see it. Because it affects him, because he can literally, he tapped into it, and he didn't even notice. I didn't even say it as a UFO. I said, look at this, and he was like, oh my God, that's a UFO. And it wasn't even like this, mate. It wasn't like this. It was like just a little dot in the screen. It was like probably tiny like that. You couldn't even see it. It was like that. And he didn't even know what I was showing him. And he went, oh my God, there's a UFO, like what the fuck? I can feel the energy from it. He can feel the vortex or something. He was explaining to me. I was like, what the fuck? Obviously, I zoomed in. And he was like, please put the camera somewhere else. There's like 2 UFOs. I think there's one hiding. Honestly, mate, this is crazy. But I'm going to send you this video. But you need to message me so I can have a quick chat with you and get this video across. That'll be good for your channel, man. All right, bro. Speak to you soon.
Well, I know. I didn't think he was going to show that one. I actually
half
thought he was going to show the original.
Well, you didn't never sent me the original.
I did. I sent it through Google Drive.
You sent me that one.
No, I didn't. I sent it through Google Drive.
You sent me that one.
I mean, the pictures. I was just going to see if I could add one of the pictures. You still get the pictures, Dakota, that I sent you. Where are they?
Why I keep telling you we got to prep more before the show.
I had them in here, but somebody's deleted them. You know, terrible it is, terrible. You know, just give me a minute, guys, and I'll download. I think this is one of them.
Hey, did you send it to me through Facebook? The photos.
No, I sent it to you. I'm just trying to add. I only need one of the pictures. I'm trying to add it to. There we go. Background. I was trying to add it to the video section. You know. But
Right, we
they were already in here. That's weird. That I think StreamYard must have updated Dakota, and it's deleted all my photos that I uploaded last night.
You know,
That's strange, that, isn't it?
Mm,
I guess. Yeah. Totally StreamYard's fault.
Yeah. Right. Oh, right. Here we go. There you go. Have a look at that.
There we go.
there we go. Here we go.
So, I mean, I didn't see the one to the right. Honestly, I didn't. And that's amazing. You know, it's
Mhm.
it's
And if-
absolutely fascinating.
And I was looking at the the distance between. Obviously, I was marking a like a ground point to see where they were moving from or where they were.
Yeah.
In like so it weren't like, oh, this is a cloud or whatever. I was just like making sure it wasn't a cloud, and it was definitely not a cloud. And it was moving. It was just the way it was moving, the size of it. It's just abnormal, and the actual signature it's given off. If you look at like when you put photos through for a like a software or whatever, when they're giving off energy or light, a certain light, they resonate different with the picture with the screen, don't they? They just, well, not the screen, but you know what I mean. Dakota probably knows more about this than I can explain it. I'm not really good at explaining it, but you know what I mean. It comes out differently, so you can tell where there's something there, as opposed to it's just a cloud or whatever. You know what I mean? It's a different sort of signature it gives off. It's crazy.
It was that. I mean, some of the pictures you sent me, Lewis, the ones at the moon, I found them absolutely fascinating.
Have you seen the antennas on the moon and the pyramids?
No.
You've not seen the pyramids? I've got them here. I can show it to you.
Do you want to screen share?
The only thing is, what I'm gonna have to do, because they're on my TikTok. I might be able to just play them on TikTok and pause them. I've never used TikTok on the PC, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna share. And how would I do this? If I click on a video, pause it, and then
you managed to share those on TikTok without getting flagged?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. You know,
I'm gonna send. If I send you the link to this video, then you can play it on the screen, no?
You should be able to.
Because I don't know.
I'll not be able to because my laptop's not connected to my.
All right, let me try and log TikTok on there. Then.
I could send the link to Dakota though.
Dakota, yeah.
You know, my connection's not all that good.
See, and then your internet will cut off.
We can't where I'm at.
There we go. Oh, that's it. Oh.
Yeah, but it's I can't wait to see these things on the moon. You know, honestly, who's in the chat? Paranormal Brew, welcome.
Let me check what my login is.
We've got some lurkers in the chat that don't speak. I know who three of them are. One of them's Alan from the Chris and Alan show. One of them is his brother Brett and his mother Rosemary. Hello.
Email username. Oh, Lewis.
Are you telling me your co-host for the Chris and Alan show is Rosemary's baby?
Oh my god. Just excuse my friend here, he's went mad. It's all the UFO encounters.
I'm working with him.
It happens, you know, it happens, but yeah. I mean, we've got other footage we're going to show you tonight that what was it from one of our friends, Sherry? But
one of our very own managed to send in a possible UFO video that she caught while she was out in Texas.
I've not seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to
this is working.
While we're waiting on Lewis, do we want to go ahead and play that?
All right, let's play it while Lewis does his thing.
Yeah, so try to fill the awkward silence here.
That's actually very interesting. Because it's not a plane.
Yeah, there's clearly something to it, but I didn't really get a lot of info on what kind of device. She said it was her boyfriend that shot the video. Didn't really get a lot of information on what kind of camera he was using, but I did run it through some enhancement software just to see if anything else would come up. But here's the enhanced version.
It's very interesting, that, isn't it?
Now, if you actually look carefully towards the middle of it, it kind of looks like there was a bit of a shape to the craft. I just noticed. This is what I get for trying to do everything last minute.
See, this is the thing. My co-host, he's never gets anything ready. It's terrible.
Run.
Well, I'm the one that has to run all the stuff behind the scenes.
I know.
I tried to get you involved, but you said no.
I had pictures there, but they've disappeared. You know.
I'm going to show you
right.
I'm going to show you a UFO on the moon. Firstly,
Mhm.
right. This is a picture on my phone. Hang on, let me just. This is a video I've got on TikTok, but I can't really play it because I can't get it to go on the computer for some reason. But yeah, if you look at this, tell me if you think this looks like a UFO.
I'll give you full screen. Let's see.
Hang on, let me just focus it.
Just a minute. There we go.
Let me try and focus it.
I see that.
Hang on. Where's the focus? I don't know if it's going to work.
I tell you what, Lewis, send me them really. If you want, send me these screenshots to me, and
Yes,
I'll send them straight to Dakota.
Yes, do this. This is so annoying. I don't know why it's doing this.
That's weird. That, I mean, it's pretty, it wouldn't surprise me if it was just technology doing it because we're talking about this kind of stuff.
Right, there's one. I'm just screenshotting them so it's easier.
Aye.
Right, quickly get that.
This is kind of looking some blurred out like a Japanese porno.
Oh shit!
Konnichiwa.
Ah,
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
Right. That's all right, isn't it? That's better.
Oh my god, guys, don't worry. We've went mad.
We've definitely gone mad.
Oh,
here we go.
That's why we live up to our name, Bald and Bonkers.
Yeah, look, we went bullshit, but he soon will.
You remember when I was doing live streams a while back? It was a couple years ago, and my internet kept cutting off, on and off, didn't it? Remember?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, and then moved house. I moved to this place, and I done my first live stream. I started speaking about the same thing, and my internet just went. My whole line went dead.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, "You got to stop talking about this stuff. You're gonna get targeted." Like that's what she said to me. I was like, "There's no way the line could have gone dead," because I'm like, I'm literally about 100 feet from the main exchange, and we've got like solid cables that go from here to there. There's no like interference or like that.
It's madness, Lewis. Honestly, it's. I know people with UFO channels, and every time they go to do a live, lag and glitching, and it's all the same. They don't want to talking about stuff. No, on you go for where I send this to.
They're sending now. Happened to me the other day. About a week and a half ago. I've worked out how to create through a video online, but I've worked out, and a bit of experimental stuff with electronics. I've worked out how to create 3E. Yeah, you can work the rest of the words out.
Yeah.
And I was looking in everything to buy on Amazon. Yeah, and I added it all to my basket. Someone posted a comment on the YouTube channel. On that channel, I looked to see how to build this thing, because it was like how you do it bit by bit. It's actually a patent from the Nikola Tesla. It was a patented item, right? So basically, I started getting all the parts ready to buy, and then I got a comment online, and then I commented back saying, it was like, "Oh, show us your device that works," because I made a lie. I said, "I've built it already. It definitely works," even though I haven't. I just thought I'd say it. Anyway, I think that's when they started listening to me from that comment, because I was speaking to my friend about an hour and a half later. I was explaining about the device, how it works, this, that, the other. And he said, "You've got to stop speaking about this stuff."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, what I'm doing is I'm screen recording the video, and I've got the recording on my computer. So I started screen recording, and about 3/4 of the way through, I was speaking to him on the text, and my internet cut off. And I was just like, oh, that's just a coincidence. But at the same time as my internet cut off, my screen went black on my phone, exactly the same time. And I was like, oops, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
Then the internet came back on after that 2 minutes. My phone was working all right still, but I had to go back. I had to go onto the data from because I turned my internet off, and then I started messaging him again. It's like, you've got to stop talking about this now because they're listening. That's why your internet's cut off. I said, no, it's just a coincidence. So I went back to press play on the video and start recording with my OBS screen recorder software. You know OBS. Bang, internet went out again. Right. The second time, this was in the space of 4 minutes, and then I was speaking to him. I rang him up and I was like, "Mate, what's going on? This is crazy. It's happened twice now." He was like, "Just stop talking about it. You can't tell anyone." Anyway, I was like, "I'm just going to finish recording this recording." So I went into the OBS, pressed play on the thing when the internet boosts back up again. Then all of a sudden, my whole body started getting hot. Literally, I swear to God, I started vibrating. I had to leave this room, run into my bedroom. Yeah, and then I just felt like someone was hitting me with waves. It was proper intense. It was so
like
intense.
an energy weapon.
Yeah, and I was like, screw this. And my friend actually downloaded it from a secure server where he works, because he worked for some company that does insurance fraud and all that. So he can get it from like a server where they can't see who's looking and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And he sent it to me, so I've got a copy of it. So I know exactly how to build it. But it was like the fact that I'd been speaking about it, and I've worked out how to do it now. And I spoke to my dad, and I'm going to be able to do it and stuff. So
yeah,
just,
I mean, a really strange occurrence happened. Was it last week, Dakota? All the old videos that I did with you, Lewis, about the moon were took down. Did you know that? For my channel, they were took down, deleted. YouTube deleted them.
Wouldn't surprise
me. Medical misinformation.
Yes.
No way.
And this was before
That's literally what
anything like that happened.
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
crazy.
So I've sent those images to Dakota, and I think he's just got to bring
There's
them
images.
up.
There's a video as well. There's one video I think.
Oh, is there a video? Right.
There's one video.
But
if you pause the video, you can see that if you look at the video, you can see the gold tops on the pyramids, because they've all got golden. What are they called? Them triangular.
Actually, I do have the video happen to pull up on my computer right now, and I can see what you're talking about. So trying to get it to come up here.
This video was recorded from one of the most recorded from one of the best telescopes that any private observer like one of us has got their hands on. Like, apart from the people with these massive these corporations, these images you see close up. This is not from me. This is from an actual high-powered telescope.
Wow.
If you play it, you'll see it goes, and you could probably see the gold capstones on them. See the gold?
Yep.
You can see the tips of them are gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
is.
I know some people can say, "Oh, that doesn't look like they don't look like pyramids." I'm telling you now, they are definitely 100% pyramids. I've seen more than just them on there. There you can see the shape of it. You can really see that they are pyramids.
Go through the first photo. Yeah, there's definitely a pyramid-esque shape to it.
Yeah.
Huh.
They are amazing. They are amazing.
That is.
And also the guy, the video that I got this from, his name's John Lennon something. John something or other. Can't remember. I'm gonna have to find out his name, and I'll share it with you. You can post it. But he's got on his YouTube channel. He does so much stuff. He zooms in so far, you can see literally smoke coming out of chimneys on the moon. And as the smoke trail is moving, it's left like a trail across the surface, and it changes over time. And he's focusing on the moon, and he keeps it in one position. So obviously he's tracking the moon, and you can see the vapor slowly moving across the surface, where it's smoke's coming out, or whatever it is, steam or whatever's coming from underground.
That is amazing. For everybody in the podcast side, guys, you need to visit the YouTube channel and see this kind of stuff, because that is amazing. You know.
Now look at the other photos as well.
Trying to get those up right as we speak.
I mean,
Go.
that is amazing. Honestly, Lewis, that is. Oh, what's that?
Can you not see the cap? It's actually the UFO. It's a UFO. You can see at the front of it. It's got like a sort of a top hat. You know, like a top hat with the. Is it a top hat? It's like that shape. Obviously, it's got the. It's what people like. They've made these things for, like people wear this stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like, where did they get the idea for these sort of hats? It's like, unless they've seen something that resembles it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? But you can go on.
I mean, it's amazing what the government have covered up for so long. What's that?
That's no moon. It's a space station.
That's what it is. That's what I believe it is. I believe it is. I really do. I believe it's locked with the Earth. And pause this, and you can see, if you can. I don't know if you can zoom in. Look into the center of that crater. You can see you can see the hexagonal shape of it anyway. But right in the center, you can see what looks like, you know, the BT Tower in the UK, or you've got or you have they're in Australia. They've got them in America, towers with like an antenna coming out the center, and they've got. If you look at the shadow going down to the sort of 7 degrees, you can see the antenna shadow where it's pointing up like a dish, and it's facing directly towards Earth.
That is amazing. Honestly, that
is.
Is that what's that? It's in the pictures. Was that a UFO? It was in the corner.
And now think about what it looks like. What does it look like? Do you know in Italy where you've got the statue of Jesus like that? Is it Jesus?
Yes.
With his arms out.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, it does look like that, doesn't it?
But it's not. But that's not what it is. It is an antenna. I know it's an antenna, but it does resemble that, which is very coincidental if you think about why they've built a statue like that. Unless it's sort of representing something that's from above, and they've understood. They can see that, perhaps or not. I don't know.
I mean, how big do you think this is, Lewis? I mean, how big do you? In scale.
That is going to be huge, man. That's going to be like. It's got to be at least, you're talking from such a distance, and obviously you can sort of tell how far the moon is. They're saying 250,000 miles. I don't think that's right. I think numbers and everything are wrong in terms of like science and stuff. But it's got to be at least, I reckon. I think probably a mile high.
Maybe more. Yeah.
More than that, I don't know. Like, I don't know, obviously, the size of the moon and stuff. You know, you can't really tell, can you? You can only you can only go by what they tell us. And then you've got another photo. If you look at the other photo, you'll see there's another antenna as well. Yeah, that's the one I was just showing you. That's the same thing.
Is that a UFO in the left-hand side or right-hand side?
Nah, I don't know. I'm
like
not
that,
sure. It looks weird, doesn't it? But I don't know. I think it's just. I think that's another antenna. You've got basically what you've got is you can really see if you zoom in into it. You can really see quite a lot of detail. If you play, actually, I've got a photo I can share with you. I'm going to show you the type of antenna it is. That one, not that one there, the one that you just looked at. Let me just find the image. Let me find the image. Where is it? I'm going to blow your minds in a minute because I've got something fascinating to show you. Well, I won't blow your minds. You probably already know, but where are we?
The moon has many hidden. You know, I mean,
it's definitely a definite. I could call it a space station. It's been created artificially.
Yes,
there's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah.
That's from my perspective anyway. Like it's so perfect. Even the size of it, the roundness. It's like even they probably find that people say the Earth isn't round, and I can prove that it is a globe. For people that think it's flat, I can prove it's a globe with one explanation that cannot be denied. But I'll tell you that in a minute. I've got a little picture I made as well to express that. But I don't want to I
I'm
don't
waiting
wanna
for
annoy
something to
anyone.
happen. I'm waiting for the government to shut everything down.
Like, where is this? Where is this?
I don't know. Maybe Wire Lewis is kind of acting nervous right now. Maybe that'll deter him just enough.
Aye.
I got
With
so
a
we got
flash of light and he'll disappear.
no, don't say that. Right, so I was trying to find. What was I trying to find? The moon.
Your picture of the moon, yeah.
But what was I explaining? Because it's just gone out of my head.
Yeah, antenna on the moon.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it's under conspiracies on my computer. Where does it say conspiracy? There we go.
I mean, if you go back far enough, there's actually a record. There's actually a human record where the moon didn't actually exist.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there is old legends of several old cultures where they say the moon just one day appeared.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right, I can't find this photo. But basically, if you've ever played Call of Duty, you understand the new Call of Duty Black Ops, or not Black Ops, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, whatever. On the maps, there's these like satellite dishes, right? And they're like flat white dishes.
Yes.
So you'll be coming down. There's like a round circular dish, and in the center, it's got like a single pointing antenna. It just looks like a single point instead of it being like, with like, for instance, a wire, or do you know what I mean? Like a pointing like that. It's like a single shaft that goes up the center, but it's quite like a stubby one. It's like a stubby antenna as opposed to elongated. More of a short rather than elongated. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So yeah, and also there's ones like the Sky Dish ones are on the moon as well, with the actual LMB above, like arced over, and then obviously you've got the sort of bottom part and the top part facing towards the bottom, so it comes off at a 45-degree angle.
It makes you. Do you think, Lewis? Do you think that the humans have got a base up there too?
I definitely think they've got up there with using alien technology. I definitely think they got there with that. In terms of getting there on a rocket, possibly. Like I just think that it's hard to like know, because obviously the moon's landing were faked. Were they faked on purpose because they wanted people to like buy into it being real at first and then fake later on, because they don't want people knowing that they can get there?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
People talk about the moon landings, right? I think it was deliberate. It was deliberate that for one reason they wanted to beat the Russians. They wanted to bankrupt the Russians, right? And it worked. But I think they've been in space, but the moon landings, I don't know. I don't know about the moon landings.
I don't think they're real, but they might have gone there on another craft, for like perhaps like a UFO or whatever. If they've worked out how to engineer something or use a UFO. Or then again, go on.
No, I was just going to say, when they done the moon landings, the transmission went off for a short period. It makes you wonder, did they use that short period to go and explore some of these artifacts that are on the moon?
Well, I know two people. Obviously, that person I was talking about does the astral. We can do like the telekinesis, remote viewing. I used to be able to remote view when I was younger, but I've lost the knack of it. I haven't practiced. I don't do enough of it. Like in terms of like using your mind, you've got to keep practicing. It's like anything. You've got to focus and maintain that focus for days and days and weeks, and then kind of get into a habit of it. But anyway, when he looks at the moon, he picks up it's not human for starters, and like they don't want us looking at it, kind of thing. That's the sort of thing feeling he gets. They don't want people looking. Another person I know who's gone there astrally, who's like his name's Ryan Cooper, and he's like he's on YouTube, but he's been really like far in his astral travel kind of things. He's gone to the moon, and when he goes to the moon, basically he looks at bases and can see bases, and as he goes closer, he basically gets shot back to the earth, like someone's stopping him from getting there. Almost like a force field is there. Yeah. And also, he's been to Mars as well, which is proper weird, apparently. You can't say that he hasn't. I don't know. I've had out-of-body experiences, and I know that there is.
I mean, Dakota here's had some experience, and so have I. this kind of stuff, the astral traveling.
Mm.
You can do it if you practice enough. I mean, I used to only be able to get to the end of my street, but now I can go really far. You know?
Yeah, you want to try and go out the earth? I've never done.
I've
never
done that. I've done that.
Have
I've
you?
done that. Oh yeah. I've went past Mars. Oh yeah.
So you know that the Earth is around the planet, then? Not
It's a
flat.
planet. It's a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a planet. It's no
Have you as
flat.
well,
but
Dakota? Have you as well?
Yeah, no, it's. Listen, there's one thing about me is that anytime I go to dig into space, there's always a response that comes back saying, "Hi, Daddy, we missed you."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, he's actually got extraterrestrial kids because he's a. When you go, you want to tell them about it?
Cool.
Yes. If we are to believe the more exotic explanations of what's been going on,
Mm-hmm.
I have at least 2 hybrid children with a woman from the Pleiades.
Right.
They hang out about the moon,
Yeah.
and they've visited at least 15 other people.
Yes.
I got enough information where I was able to use computer programs to actually generate their pictures, what they look like. And I'll admit, had a lot of these people not been wearing glasses at the time, apparently I got it so accurate that their eyeballs practically shot out their skulls.
Yes. There was put it this way, Lewis. We had a medium on, a trans medium on, and her name was Lisa. And that night I went to my bed as usual, like I do every night. And I had this weird dream. I was on like this ship, right? And I seen Dakota, right?
No way.
And they take me to this place, this planet, somewhere kind of a purple atmosphere. Anyway, woke up the next day, talking to Dakota. I tell him this. He experienced the exact same dream. And there was somebody else they experienced the exact same
No way.
dream.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yes.
I believe it.
It's a and people sitting watching this will be saying, "Oh, that's a bit far fetched." That stuff.
No, it's not. It's not. It really ain't. It really isn't.
Yeah,
it really isn't. My I've only ever had one dream like that where I've been with my wife, been with for like 10 whatever years, 11 years. We've had the same dream once before where we were in this sort of what was it? It was like a old sort of castle-ish sort of dungeony kind of place, and there was all these dark figures and they had hoods on and that, but you couldn't really see their faces, and they were like coming at us and stuff. And when I woke up, I was like, what the hell was going on? I was like, get away from me in my dream. And I woke up, my wife was screaming, ah. And I was like shaking her, wake up. And then she woke up and she was like, oh, get him away from me. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh, all these hooded like people and that were coming at me. You know, we were both in the same place. I don't know what it was. It was a bit evil, but it wasn't. We shouldn't have really been bothered because we're not really physical, are we? Just energy. So nothing can really do anything to us.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, Lewis, if it's a false memory that's been implanted in you.
Possibly, yeah.
You might have been abducted. You might have been abducted. And that because Dakota actually knows quite a lot about this, didn't you, Dakota? I mean, the false memory stuff.
Yeah, it's basically they have such an understanding about the human mind that they know how to rewire your nervous systems to where a memory may register a certain way or get suppressed. Everything's still there. You can go in and unlock it. It's just that they know, obviously from experience, because these types of dealings can cause people to kind of lose it. I mean, off of my case, there these contact situations where that had to have children. They say that I'm married with kids, and I don't remember. I'm just like, I don't know what to think of here. It's hard to explain for somebody who doesn't have it. That's why I've been so thankful for this podcast, because we've been able to find people who have had very similar experiences to help us out along the way. I'm just like, yes, I'm not crazy.
I know.
So is this to carry on, Chris? Sorry, I'm not going to jump in, man.
No. When you go.
Does this tie into the Mandela effect then, somewhat?
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been wondering that.
But then I just when you said that, I was like, yeah, you could alter someone's memories, but there's certain things that I think have changed too much to be. They've changed once, they've changed twice, and they're trying to change to a different thing. So like more than one occurrence. So that kind of makes me think that time travel is the cause of this change. Someone's messing
Time
with.
travel's a big part of it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I see. There's a lot of extraterrestrials out there, but they're not really extraterrestrials. They're actually us for like
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
1,000 years from
I
now.
believe that. Yeah, that's what I've kind
And
of
yeah,
come
there's
to
meant
agree
to be another species too. What's their name again, Dakota? They've actually see this is the problem about time travel, right? You'll get to what I'm talking about. This is the problem with time travel, Lewis, is
Mm.
you can travel back in time, but you're not going back to your time. You're going when you go to, right, say you had a time machine right now, right? And
Mm.
you wanted to go back to the 1800s, right? So you went back to the 1800s. You can make your time machine, yeah, the Victorians walking about and stuff. But the problem being, you would have just created another reality.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. And then when you go to come forward, right,
Mm.
to come back, you can't because you're stuck in that reality.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually,
I get what you're saying.
there's actually a race of beings out there. I can't remember what they're called again. And that happened to them. They didn't know Dakota. What's their names again? They visit as regular.
They're referred to as the Sani. There's 4 different types, but they're basically gray human hybrids. The story behind them is that they're basically us 300 years in the future, but there was real nasty cataclysms to where they had to absolutely leave their world. They started jumping realities. They came here, realized they could survive here.
Mm.
So the story is that those ones are trying to make it to where help us where we don't make the same mistakes they did to destroy their world.
Yeah.
But because they made those jumps, they can't necessarily get back. It doesn't exactly sound like they have something to go back to from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
This what my take is that like what you're saying is right. I'm guessing that what's happening now is that they've synthetically engineered us, right, to become part synthetic, part human, and that is an actual race. As a race of aliens which have got silicon in their DNA, isn't it? And that was part of there was a crop circle near a antenna radio. They sent a signal up, and like I think it was like a week later or something, an image came back down on the crops, and it was like showing like what type of alien they were, their genetic makeup, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And they had I think they had something like they had like as I said, silicon was part of their makeup and something else. And basically, what I believe now from the time we've gone through is they've genetically modified us and done kinds of shit to us in my language. To basically create a race of humans, which obviously they can get rid of in the end or do whatever they want to do with, but keep a certain percentage for like whether they want us to travel to somewhere or whatever. And then eventually we'll turn into like, say, for instance, the Greys, which is a race of aliens which can pretty much go. They don't need to eat food and sunlight and all that, or they have some kind of nutrition or something that's like non-resembles any human food. Do you know what I mean?
The Greys, right? There's different races of Greys. There's actually nice Greys in the Dakota, but the Greys are more like ants, and they're controlled with the bigger ones. What they called again, Dakota? They're controlled with the taller ones, and what you have to understand, Taylor, is see the Earth now. There's a lot of people are hybrids. You probably bumped into them in the street. A lot of people are hybrids, and a lot of these alien races walk among us. They do.
I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. You could bump into someone in the supermarket, and they could be actually from a different planet, but they're not allowed to say. That's it.
That's the thing I can say for. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Dakota.
No.
Saying like, I pick up on energy with people, right? So every person I speak to, I feel their vibration, I feel their energy. Like for instance, you've got your own unique signature. Dakota has his own unique signature. I can't explain it in terms of a feeling. I can't even explain it in terms of a sound, but I feel Dakota's energy and I feel your energy. And anyone I speak to, as soon as I've had contact with them personally over the phone and see an image or whatever, I feel them. It's hard to explain. So everyone has a unique, distinct thing. But then some people I don't get nothing from whatsoever. I don't feel anything from them, which is weird. It's just like, why am I not feeling any kind of, like, are you human or not? Like, or is it just, I don't know. I can't explain it like what you're saying. That perhaps it's because they're not humanoid. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Who knows? I might be wrong.
What's your thoughts, Dakota? What's your thoughts?
Well, in my experience, I feel those energies too when I talk to certain people. But whenever I get to where it's just, see, it's like an EKG, and all of a sudden it's just flatline. Best way I know to describe it. That person is usually so medicated out on prescription meds that they have no sense of what the heck's going on in the world. That's been my experience. Some of my relatives are in that mix. But
that's what I mean. I think it feels like that things have been like, not just before having different people, different, whether they're from UFO, whether they're aliens or humans or whatever. But since people have been genetically thingied with all this stuff going on, it's almost like they're complete different people. It's like some of them are complete different people. They're not the same person anymore. They've lost touch with their, I don't know, they've just lost touch. I'm not saying everyone is experiencing that, because not everyone is going to, because not everything is going to be that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of it's different. Yeah. I'm not going to speak about it because I don't want to get your channel.
I know.
There's a reason why we send it out to so many different spots.
Yes. I mean, 54 locations, 55 locations.
54, 55, somewhere around there.
The only place you need to worry about using their things is YouTube. That's the only place really you need to watch, because, but I do think change is coming. I think big change is coming. Lewis, did you hear about the thing in Ukraine?
I don't watch the news. I don't watch nothing. I don't watch any of it because I just
probably wouldn't be here this particular thing about it.
No. This is I'll let Dakota tell you because he knows more.
So there's a lot of stories of what they call arcs being led by extraterrestrials. There's several of them on the planet. They're spread out through the solar system. It's actually a project we humans are trying to imitate, basically to archive our history. In the event of a global cataclysm, I know this because some of my DNA is in that. They say part of the some of the conspiracy circles say that there is one of these arcs in the Ukraine that's turned on, and inside these things are supposed to be like alien plants, all sorts of technology, things that are supposed to help us left here for when we're ready. In other words, with the situation in Ukraine, part of the reason why Putin invaded is because he recently received some sort of illness. He was recently diagnosed with something, possible dementia. There's a lot of skepticism that he's not going to be alive for very, very much longer, but that's also just because of how the Russians are.
Yeah.
But part of the reason why he invaded was to try to get this technology, to get this secret stash, to maybe help him with his ailments. And obviously put Russia back into power, which is what he's always wanted to do. So it's one of those things we can't really be for sure unless we were to actually go there,
I mean, where is it about, Dakota? And is it some desert that's some natural desert that's in Ukraine? It's got a name. MD in the chat can help us.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's not far from Kiev, if I remember correctly.
Sorry.
Yeah. What's that there from Anne Marie Young? Let's have a look.
I believe the governments are corroding our pineal glands, so we don't have our connection with the universe. Do you? Okay, I don't know what she's talking about. The fluoride in the water trick. Yeah, that's something we picked up from the Nazis. And it is possible, but they also know that a lot of the government agencies that have control, that have influence in major media, education systems, all that,
Yeah.
they've covered everything pretty well to where a lot of people don't question it. Yes, there is some truth to that. To what extent? It's about to be revealed to be a lot worse than they realized. Or maybe it was their plan all along.
I was going to say this is the whole situation with that in terms of the for goodness sake, sorry, in terms of the fluoride, and in being in most medications, also things like antidepressants and that they put fluoride in because it damages the cell receptors in the brain so that you can't function 100%. It just basically dumbs you down, as well as the calcification. Yeah, but what people don't understand is the realization that you are in total control of your body's anatomy, with oneself being in that pure state of knowing I have the overall control of that, everything that happens in my life. Like, I have total control over it. Apart from obviously, like, you could say, oh well, this is going on, something's happening there, whatever. In terms of you as a person, you're in total control of your body, so you can create miracles within you. It doesn't matter how many people say, oh, you get poisoned by this, the radiation's doing this, whatever. You're actually in total control as long as you believe that fully, and you don't let yourself get programmed in another sense, which you are from birth, programmed to think certain ways. As long as you can cancel that out, which is hard because you've had it your whole life, you know what I mean? You've been manipulated your whole life. You have total control over your whole. You can manifest everything. I know it sounds stupid. It does sound stupid, but you can.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you got to remember the world we live in today is. You ever seen that film? 1980 it was made. We can see them. People put sunglasses on. And you can see the aliens, right?
Oh, that's the
they live with the wrestler, yeah.
Right, they live, right. That's actually a real thing. I mean, there is actually, if you look into things, TV programs, films, cartoons, it's all got programming in it, and it's like all these young minds that are getting programmed.
Here's the thing about that: a lot of people don't realize, Chris. The human brain alters itself every moment.
Yes.
That's why it's one of the hardest things to study. Right now, we're technically programming our viewers.
That's right.
It's that easy to manipulate. It's that easy to manipulate. That's the thing that not a lot of people realize. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. But
I was going to say, you're talking about programming. Sorry, Chris.
No, on you go. Man, I'm just reading the chat. On you go.
I don't watch the news, but last time I watched the news was probably like 2.5 years ago, apart from when my mum and dad have it on the TV, and I just have to walk out the room because I just can't be listening to that. Just because 98% of it is just trash. But there was a woman as the caster, one woman. She was dressed in a blue like top, and she's got like these elongated ears, and she's like sort of like almost tan skin. She looks like a woman from Starship Enterprise. From one of the casts of Starship Enterprise. I swear to God. And do you know, like, they've got them little things on their shirt as well, like, what's it called? You know, little...
Is it the thing that's beam me up, Scotty kind of things? Mate,
when I see it, I was just like, oh my God, it's like, unless she's actually an alien and she's on TV, or it's just, they've just done it on purpose, you know. I'll wear a certain thing. But she did look very weird, because I said to my dad, this is when I used to watch the TV, I said, she looks like she's one of these people on the Starship Enterprise, and he was just like, yeah, she's got long ears and like a proper pointy ears. There's another one who's got pointy ears like Spock. And I'm like, are these humans or not?
It's honestly, there's some videos out there that would shock you. Was it you, Lewis, that showed us that video you had time? The one where everybody's eyes lit up, and the people with the glowing eyes. Yeah. Have you seen that, Dakota? They're on a nightclub and they turn the lights off, and everybody. There's a couple of people that are fine; they've just got normal eyes, and everybody else, all these rich. What was it for? It was the elite. It was some party for these billionaires, right? And they turned the lights off, and the guys are playing the instruments on the stage, and they turn the lights off, and all the green eyes. I'm
All
serious.
their eyes are glowing. It weren't because they were
Yeah.
high on cocaine or anything like that. It was literally they had glowing eyes. The insides of their eyes were glowing. And then the guys who were in the band, they like literally quit. They stopped the session and got the hell out of there because they were like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
It's a true story.
It's. I'll send you the video, Dakota, because I'll tell you something now. It just shows you what's in this world, and it disturbs you what is actually on this planet.
I'm just going to go
now.
and get my glass of water quickly. One sec.
No problem. No problem. So Dakota, do you have any news to tell?
Well, what news were we going to reveal, Christopher?
Oh, I don't know. It's up to you. It's your news.
Well, you're the one that's trying to put me on the spot here, like you're trying to extort me for money.
You said you had a new guest coming on next week or something like that, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All
Look at this.
right.
You have to try and prize it out of him.
Well, there is the only one. The reason why we got to be careful, you know, it's not everything set in stone, but yes, next Sunday we are going to have Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum from Idaho State University. He is the professor of anatomy and anthropology at Idaho State University. And chances are, if you've ever watched a program involving Bigfoot, you've seen this guy. He's pretty much a lot of these networks' go-to guy for when it comes to Sasquatch material.
Yeah.
He openly studies the possibility of whether or not Bigfoot is a legitimate creature. He has graciously offered up his time next week's episode of Context, so definitely check that out. It'll be an interesting interview. Maybe we can settle this debate on whether or not Bigfoot is just a big hairy thing in the woods or an alien.
Well, I mean, the big hairy thing in the woods could be anything, you know. You could do someone camping. It could be me, because I'm big and hairy. I said, obviously, my head, I've got no hair there.
Yeah, and you're wanting the Bald and Bonkers hair supplements.
I know. Oh, that's right. You're talking about that too. I mean,
I think that might be something worth looking into. You know.
Yeah, I mean, quick hair growing supplements. You know.
I'm back.
He's back from beyond. The aliens got him. You know.
Yeah.
We're just discussing what's on next week, Lewis. We're just a guest that we're having on. A special guest. But anything else, Dakota? Do you want to discuss?
No, for now that's all we have. There'll be more. There might be more by next week.
Oh, I've got something to show you. I have got something to show you.
All right, let's see it.
I showed you. I haven't shown you.
We see the Pornhub tabs in the glass behind you there, Lewis.
What's that? I was going to say something.
That's one hairy pussy.
I've got the.
I mean cat.
I've got
Bald and Bonkers. Love it. Oh wait, that's just America.
Oh God.
Right. Let me get this. Where is it?
Address it in concern to him.
Yes, send it to me and I'll send it straight to Dakota.
I'm just going to send it to my own email. I don't know why I didn't think to do that in the first place. Right, to Lewis.
You know.
And then send that on the share screen quickly.
See, this is what happens. Your co-host is always picking on you. Terrible, you know.
Right,
if you've got any hate mail, just send it to Dakota. I could give him your phone number, Dakota. Do you want your phone number read out?
Yeah, it's 1-900 blow me.
Right, this is going to get interesting. I've got just forward twice.
I say 1-900 blow me and said, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." Lewis, we just met.
Oh my God!
Right, share
Confessions
screen,
of a Bigfoot.
Here we go. Right, can you see that? Yeah. Oh, you can share it.
Hold on. Bring it up. All right.
Right, so this is on the moon, yeah. You see this?
Look at that.
Right, now watch this. If I go forward a bit. That's the Starship Enterprise, and that's something on the moon. Starship Enterprise, something on the moon. And obviously, that's the backside of it, but that's very
That's like
weird shape,
it's like
isn't
a
it?
saucer shaped. Yeah, it's kind of similar.
That actually looks like I saw something I saw on New Year's Eve.
And also, it looks like that. Do you know that craft you see the UFOs where they've got like a video of this craft doing weird maneuvers in the sky, and it's like sort of like
Yes.
going
the
sideways and
tic-tac.
staying sideways. And you see, it's the military video where the craft it starts going like that sideways, and then it stays
Yeah, the
that way,
tic-tac.
and then it banks back round again.
It's called the Tic Tac with the two jets chasing after it.
You can definitely see the resemblance of that and that. There's definitely some kind of closeness towards the shape of it.
That's very strange, that, because that's. Okay, I've got to say something here, but that's like that UFO I seen, the one with the images. That's what it was pointed at the front. It had a pointed kind of front to it.
Would make sense, yeah. That's what makes sense.
It makes you wonder what racy beings it belongs to.
Well, the ones out of Elena's book that look like they had the Starship Enterprise are considered some of the nastiest ones in the galaxy. So,
where is this? I've got something I want to show you.
With all sorts of freaky tentacles, I'm sure Christopher would love.
I'm going to find this image. Hang on. I just
Big tentacles. You know, Dakota said he was going to. Yeah.
This is. I'm going to show you that before I show you the last thing. This is why the Earth is a round object. Let me quickly show you this to you. Share screen. So you can see that.
I'll get him up.
Yep.
So if you're standing up here, the stars are moving clockwise. Yeah.
Yep.
If you're standing down here, even though the stars are moving clockwise in the sky, because you're upside down, they're moving. They look like they're moving anti-clockwise.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's moving the same way, but it's like obviously you're at a different angle. So you would be upside down, it'd be going the opposite way, and that's how you know that the Earth is a ball.
Well, the Earth is definitely a ball.
Unless it's a disc and you're standing on the opposite side of the disc, upside down, there's no way the stars can move the opposite way around in the sky.
Yeah.
As well as the moon faces. If you actually like looking, I've got photos of being in Australia where the moon's in the sky, and you can see it's more at a sort of 45-degree angle to what it is in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And if the further down south you go, the more the angle changes. So
yes,
you can tell that we're on a globe.
I mean the flat Earth theory is, what can I say here, is a really strange one. You know, I mean,
here we go.
Yeah.
Carry on.
When you go to Dakota, you got to...
No, I was gonna say, have you seen the latest little ones where they're saying that there's like a hole in the ice wall, that's the North Pole, and now you managed to get outside this ice wall, there's like 30 other continents on this flat Earth? I'm just like, okay, why? Okay, they're trying to say, oh, the government and NASA are covering this up. It's like, what sort of advantage does that have for persons of power to hide that type of information?
Yeah,
I'll tell you some sick joke.
I'll tell you what the purpose is of it. The whole purpose of Flat Earth was a tactic to manipulate people to believe something that's so ridiculous that makes them look crazy, and then they can label them a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
So now they can use that label against anyone. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Because there's such a big thing about, the Earth's flat. Like, it ain't flat. It's just...
Look, I was watching one day, and this is what I kind of get. They're going about, right, the Earth's got a firmament out of the top of it, meaning nothing can come down, right? And nothing can go up, right? But then they say there's other planets and aliens visit us. Right? So if there's other planets and aliens can visit us, right, how are they getting through the rock? But that doesn't exist. It only exists with now and again, you know? The flat Earth theory is mad. You need to be a raving lunatic to believe in that. I mean, you know what they've done near me? I don't know if they've done this near you, Lewis, but when I drive down the motorway, on the big signs on the motorway, people have put the Earth is flat.
Yeah,
And
they've
I'm
got
like,
them
oh
on
my god.
Yeah, I saw that when I was in Scotland. I'm just like, oh, holy crap, they are that drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, man, I just don't know, honestly. But it's. I mean, did you hear that the flat Earth movement's got followers all around the globe? I put
What
that.
I'm
I put
interested
that.
in is how is Earth the only one that's flat in the solar system?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, I put that in the Flat Earth Society group on Facebook, and they banned me.
That's jokes.
You know, but you got to admit it is funny. I mean, we believe in aliens and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that's more credible, like a different life in a different universe, you know, in different galaxies and stuff.
Mm.
But I just don't get the flat Earth because people will buy that. What's that camera? Is it the Nikon P1000, the new one?
P1900, whatever. The same.
Yeah, and they'll
Same.
zoom in and they'll be like, "Aye, but look, there's no curvature of the Earth and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck's sake."
That's because of
And
that's just because of light distortion over a long, vast distance. You can look at light distortion through if you look at your finger in front of a light, you can see the light bends around your finger just slightly, ever so slightly. You can almost manipulate the light in front of your finger by pushing your like. Yeah, you can just do it yourself. Even water
There's that.
sticks to like the end of your tap. It becomes a droplet on the end of on the end of a tap.
Yeah.
So
I
that
mean,
just proves
I've
that it can sustain
yeah.
an object.
Yeah,
It
I
can-
mean, I've stood in a disused runway, and it was really, really long, and you can actually see it starting to dip down the curvature. It's mad as Ken something to quote. We need to get a flat earther on this show.
I think so.
I think we do. You know.
Well, I've got to show you these last few things before you go.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
All right, sounds good.
I did share my screen. I don't know if you can see it. That's all.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
We got to add
Seen
you.
it there.
So yeah, this is one of the most interesting
Yeah.
what do you call it? Crop circles. It shows some kind of like some computing, I don't know, wave forming system that creates information that goes into an antenna. But I don't understand it. I just see it and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I just thought I'd say
That's actually really interesting when I look at that. Do you know what I get when I look at that? I get like there's a message in the first long bit that has to be transmitted at a certain time. There you go. That's what I'm getting there. See the planets. If you think about it, the middle bit's the sun, right? Right? You make the middle bit's the sun, right? And then all the planets out, you wait till they're all aligned, and then you send the message.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
What do you get, Dakota?
Honestly, there's a certain software I want to run it through to see what kind of tones come out.
Yeah, I think that would be very, very interesting because it's as if it's like a message. They've left you like the message. Lewis, can you zoom in the back section where the smaller writing?
It's a shame it's not that much. I actually copied this picture online. You can't get these images for free. Like the high definition versions of them are like you have to pay for them. So I just I'll just save what I can get, kind of screen copy it or whatever.
See, that's really interesting. Yeah, that's like a message there. That's about that. It's some type of message.
It's definitely a message, yeah.
Yeah. Look at Dakota, he's looking all fascinated now, like a kid in a candy store. You know. Can you send me a copy of that, Lewis?
Yeah, I will definitely, man. Yeah. Send me your email address and I'll send it through email.
Yep, no problem.
And I'm going to show you something else. So basically, what you're looking at is some kind of what you call it. It's a message. It's being sent, and it's when it's getting to here, it's getting transmitted into I don't know, modulated signals, and then once it's modulated through whatever these bits are, I'm guessing this sort of like a filter that goes into multiple stages, or maybe they're as you're saying, different planets at certain times. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's all to do with sending information of somewhat. It's a message from something.
There you go, I sent it to you.
So you've got that, and then if you look, I was thinking about this the other day. I thought, oh, if you look at Big Ben, I don't know if anyone's looked at Big Ben closely before, and
Not really, actually.
and sort of worked out what is going on and what all this is.
See that? There's like wee transmitters on that.
I mean, so basically, what you're looking at is an energy harvesting system, and it gets energy from the ether, which is the atmosphere, because the Earth's obviously a rotating ball of whatever, and it's got a magnetic from north and south, and where it's moving, it creates energy. So it's just a energy field, and then they obviously harness its energy at a certain height, because if you think of a magnet, the lower to the ground you are, the less magnetic field it has. But when the higher you get up, the more the field. You see what I'm saying? You get curvature of the field, didn't you?
Yes.
The higher you are. So if you're really low, there's not much of a field. So you get to a certain point, it starts to interact with that field. So no matter how high it's got to be a certain. However high this is, I don't know how tall Big Ben is, but it's roughly that.
That's great, but yeah.
It's at roughly that height when they start using the antennas. So that's obviously got to be, I don't know, 100 feet, maybe more. How tall?
Yeah.
Three-story house is like about 100 foot. But anyway, so these little antennas, they're made of, they've got gold, which is a great, it's not just a conductor of electricity, but it doesn't, over time, it doesn't degrade. Whereas silver does. I learned this because my friend Ashley told me about it the other day. So they have probably gold and then silver and then copper and sacred geometry. If you look at the geometric patterns between the gaps between these certain things, they amplify them, they come down, and then they run through these little railing systems as well. And this clock was never a clock. It was never a clock.
Right. So what do you think it is? Is that?
This is what it was. It used to be this. That's what it used to be. One of them, and four of them. And what that is a cathode. It's a cathode. It's a symbol. It's a sacred geometric cathode tube. So if you look into electronics and look up what a cathode is, you know the old amplifiers used to get. They're called cathode ray tubes, right? They'd have these the tubes inside would amplify the power. How would they amplify the power? It's a signal, but it amplifies it using a tube. But how does it amplify using just the tube? Because of the sacred geometry inside it. It had nothing to do with the power enhancement using something to create more power. It was actually the way that the geometry was inside the tube was making more power. Yeah, so that's why.
That is fascinating. That is fascinating.
And then and then I've done a photo with, obviously you see that they all have these specific geometric patterns to any cathedrals, and that they've all got these little spikes. They're all set at certain distances. They've got, it's all geometric shapes, and geometry is one of the most important parts of it as well, because you've got 3, 6, and 9. Obviously, you know about 3, 6, and 9, but they're the three main multiplication numbers that reoccur constantly. So anyway, let me show you what it would look like if I didn't do a good job of it, but that's what it would look like if it had the cathodes in between. But 3D paint doesn't do a good job of trying to put it on.
That's all right.
But you can see that's how it would have been, kind of thing. And yeah, so if you switch between that and then switch between that, I should put both images up, but you can see that would have been there. It's fascinating, isn't it? So these clock towers were originally energy storage facilities, and they take the energy from here, bring it to the ground, and then what they'd have is they'd have a sub level. But the sub levels, what used to be sub levels, used to be your normal ground level. And what they've done is they covered them up because they hid the technology from us. So that's why you've got all these houses that are half underground, not half, but like part of them are underground
Yeah.
because they've deleted part of our history. There's a part of our history where there was electric vehicles when the first electric car, first electric vehicle was made by, I think it was made by Ford, or I think it was Ford. They made an electric car.
I think so.
I don't know if it was Ford. I think it was a Ford. They made an electric car or something like that, and then it was they turned around and said, "No, we're going to make a better car with fuel, with oil," and then completely ruined the whole like sort of revolution. But for about, I think there was like 100-year period, we had vehicles for about 100-year period,
Yeah.
and they just
That's
lied to us about
fascinating,
it.
isn't it?
And they were using these cathedrals to get the energy and store them in like probably lead acid batteries underground. And then they were using like some kind of system to, I don't know, be able to use like tram lines or some kind of system. I don't know, with like tram lines, free energy with them and other stuff.
Aye, it's like kind of wireless power, isn't it? It's kind of like wireless power.
Yeah, I'm not sure about how it was done, but I know that there's videos. I've seen videos of these old like, electric cars. I've seen videos of these like not unicycles, but like a tire, but with like a kid sitting inside the center of this wheel that rotates, and he's sitting in a seat, and it's powered by electricity. It's like, where would you see that in history? I haven't seen that anywhere apart from online.
Yeah,
Men in Black 3.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot covered up, guys. I honestly do think there's been a lot covered up. What's that? Is it the mud flood it was called? You know what I'm talking about?
They make these things up. They make them up.
Yeah.
There's definitely been mud floods. Yeah, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but everywhere. Like, if you look throughout the whole of the world, every single large place, like a large, what do you call it, like city, where there used to be subterranean levels, right? These underground levels, they've all just like been covered up. But for what reason? You just got to think, oh, what? So the whole world become muddy, did it? Like,
Yeah.
well, no. Think how big the world is.
Yeah. And think of all the things that are hidden. But Lewis, thank you for coming on, man. You
That's
know?
all right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a really, really good night, and we'll need to get you back again, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna quickly stop this.
There you go, you're back. So guys, what will be live this week? Dakota, the Inner Quartz on Thursday, isn't it? Or is it Friday?
Have they recorded another episode?
I do not know. I will have to go and check.
Oh, what are we going to do with those two?
I know, terrible. No recording their shows, you know.
Well, if you don't see them, you'll get to see us Saturday and Sunday. Like I said, we have Professor Meldrum for Idaho State University joining us to discuss Bigfoot. How is it we've done all this time? We're coming up on our 6-month anniversary of starting this little shindig here. How is it we not have gone into more cryptids?
Well, we'll have to get and talk about Bigfoot, or Big Feet as I call them.
Oh, that's a specialty. So it's going to be an interesting one next week.
You know, I mean, it's, you know. But anyway, Lewis, I'll talk to you after the live. So catch you later, everybody, and have a great week.
I just
and I'll see you in the backstage.
Thanks.
Right.
All right.
Catch you.